This is number 2 of my childhood stories. Growing up, me and my brother, we played a lot together, and I was a tomboy, and I could play with him, and we did all kinds of stuff together. So, when we lived in Chincoteague, Virginia, on an island, and Chincoteague Island was nearby. So one day we come home from school and we had 2 brand new bikes waiting for us. Oh my gosh, so excited. And I didn't know how to ride a bike. Well, when we lived in Oklahoma, I think my brother was probably about 7 years old, and our dad got him a bicycle, and we had a chain link fenced yard. It was a big fenced yard. So he was going to teach my brother how to ride a bicycle, and Tommy got on there, and our dad just sent him flying. Pushed him real hard. He didn't know nothing about a brake, so he hit that chain link and he flew over the top of it. How scary was that? I thought, oh, that is flat scary. I felt so sorry for him. Well, I thought, I'm not going to have my dad teach me how to ride a bicycle. No way. I would land out in the bay area, because right across the road from our house was the bay. I could just imagine him giving me a push. Then I'd have to swim home. But anyway, so I got my bicycle, and on the back of our house, I learned how to ride a bike. I leaned it up against the house, got on it, and I had one hand on the house and one hand steering the bicycle. So I went back and forth a few times to get my balance, and finally I could ride my bicycle by the house and not fall over. I learned the brakes and everything. So bicycles give a kid more freedom feel to get out and ride a bicycle. Sometimes early in the morning I'd get out, ride the road in front of our house. I just enjoyed it. And sometimes I'd run across the mailman. He had this cart he would push, had his mail bag on it, and I talked to him and kind of ride by him. Sometimes I would pick the bike up and go out on the sidewalk, because that's where he was walking, and he'd say, "You want to push this bag?" Oh yeah, I thought that was really something. So for a little ways I got to push the mailman's bag, so I really liked that. One day Tommy says, let's take the bicycles on the other side of the island. So yeah, I thought that was great. So we rode around. We went by this place where they bring in oysters, and this dock, it had a roof on it. So the people opened up the oysters. They had a bucket or 2 by them, and they'd crack out the oysters and throw them in that bucket, and they'd sit on the side of the dock and throw out the oyster shells. And sometimes you could see them eating them, because I know what them oysters look like when they're raw. Yuck. But anyway, there'd be, a couple probably about 6 of them out there cracking open oysters early in the morning. And then we go on around to the area where they swim the horses across from Azteque. There was a beach there that we could play once in a while in. And then we went on, and there was a brand new bridge at that time getting built so people could drive to Azteque. Before that, you'd have to take a boat to get there. And so we got to that bridge, and they just had some planks across it. Probably maybe they could drive across it, because it would have been scary. So we got off our bike and walked in planks. They weren't nailed in or anything. And we should have left our bicycles, you know, laid them down. But we brought them with us. And I think the plank was probably about 12 inches, 16 inches or something like that. And mostly you could look down and see water on both sides of the plank, and we were pretty up high. So we got about middle ways, and we seen some wild horses coming to get a drink in that water. And I don't know if that was fresh water through there or what. It was moving like a river. But anyway, we stopped there and we seen them get a drink. It was real pretty to see. And we went on across that bridge, and they had it tore up, like plows been through there. So I guess they did drive across that on them planks. But when I looked down into that water, and that water is moving fast, I thought, if I fall off here, I think I'm going to drown, because it was swift. It was kind of scary. So we got the bikes across the bridge. We was thinking we could just ride our bikes over to the ocean side, but it was hard for us to walk on. It was real sandy, and they had it tore up pretty good. So we turned around and walked back on them planks and come on back home. But it was kind of scary to look down at that water. But we had fun on our bicycles. So not too far from our house, there was a store. It was an old-timey store, wood floor. They had a pickle barrel out there in the middle of their store. And when you go up there, there's usually a bunch of old men that's lived there probably forever sitting out front. And when you walk there, they look at you. Everybody get quiet and stare at you. I thought, oh, I'm so embarrassed. Look at them all stare at us. So we'd go in and get some candy or bread for Mom or something, you know. But it was a real old-timey store. So we come out, get on our bikes. All them men are staring at us. They probably wonder who are them people. But anyway, that was fun. We had a lot of fun with our bicycles. So I'll see you on the next video on another part, number 3. Bye.